You know, I've been really trying not to, get too not to get too invested and reacting to some of the things that's going on in the news, but this one I just absolutely feel like I have to cover this. I have to. It's a couple things. It's not just one, in particular thing, but it's a couple things. There's a couple videos that I want to show. There's going to be a quick live. It'll be maybe a half hour, right? But I want to show you guys what was taking place uh, in the Senate today. It was insane. It was insane. Check this out. Check this out, man.
As part of my responsibility as a member of this committee to ensure the fitness of all nominees to come before any of the committees on which I sit, I ask the following two initial questions. First, since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement relating to this kind of conduct?
Senator, I was falsely accused in October of 2017. It was fully investigated and I was completely cleared.
I don't think completely cleared is accurate, but
Okay, real quick. Like, how disgusting is that? First off, so you say that you've done some investigating, you've looked into these things, so you obviously know that the claims came out to be false, unsubstantiated. You know these things, yet you still are trying to really, what it comes down to is you're trying to humiliate this man. Now, whether he did or he didn't do what they say that he did or did not do, everybody makes mistakes. Every single person in the world makes mistakes. You make mistakes, and you're gonna sit up here and try to bash this man and defame him, and it's disgusting behavior. Let's keep going because it keeps going. It's horrible.
the fact is that your own lawyer said that you entered into an NDA and paid a person who accused you of raping her a sum of money to make sure that she did not file a complaint. Moving on. As secretary, you will be in charge of maintaining good order and discipline by enforcing the Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ. In addition to the sexual assault allegations, and by the way, the answer to my
Allegations, not a conviction. Allegations. All right, they love to do this. They love to point out because anybody can make an allegation about anything, right? They did the same thing with Trump. Trump allegedly did some things and they run with it and they put it out there as if it's a fact. No, you did this. This just is. It's an allegation, and we know we don't have any proof. We don't have anything, saying for sure that this is what you did. But this is the allegation, and we're just gonna run with that. This is what they do. And when I say they, I mean disgusting people that sit inside that Capitol building, man. Disgusting people. And you wonder why events like January 6th happen because people like y'all. That's why.
My second question should have been yes. I have read multiple reports of your regularly being drunk at work, including by people who worked with you at Fox News. Do you know that being drunk at work is prohibited for service members under the...
Okay, you read reports that this man came into work drunk. What about all the reports that have been written making allegations about Biden? What about all the reports written making allegations about Hunter? What about all the reports that have been written talking about a lot of members in Congress? There's a whole lot of reports, but nothing verified. These are allegations. It is not an absolute truth. And people like her know this, but because she's trying to go, like I said, she's trying to humiliate this man. So she's just going to run with it.
UCMJ?
Senator, those
Yes
are
or no?
multiple false anonymous reports peddled by NBC
Do you
News
know
that
that
run directly
drinking on the job
contradictory to the
is
dozens of men and women
not
at Fox News
contemplated
Channel
in it?
who I work with
I'm
who
not
came
hearing
on
the
the
answer to my
record
question.
and said they
In your
would never
opening
see
statement,
that.
Mr. Hicks, said you commit to holding leaders accountable at all levels. That includes you, of course. And frankly, as secretary, you will be on the job 24/7. You recently promised some of my Republican colleagues that you stopped drinking and won't drink if confirmed, correct?
Absolutely.
Will you resign as Secretary of Defense if you drink on the job, which is a 24/7 position?
I've made this commitment on behalf of
Will
the
you
men and women I'm
resign as
serving.
Secretary of Defense
I've
if
made
you
this commitment
drink
on
on the
behalf of
job?
the men and women I'm serving
I'm not
because it's the
hearing-
most important deployment
I'm not
of my
hearing an
life.
answer to my question, so I'm going to move on.
I can't stand women
While you
like her.
made that commitment, you will not commit to resigning if you drink on the job. As Secretary of Defense, you will swear an oath to the Constitution and not an oath to any man, woman, or president, correct?
Senator, on multiple occasions, including as a young second lieutenant, I have sworn an oath to the
Answer is
Constitution,
yes.
and I'm proud to do so. Yes, ma'am.
In June of 2020, then President Trump directed former Secretary of Defense Mark Esper to shoot protesters in the legs in downtown DC, an order Secretary Esper refused to comply with. Would you carry out such an order from President Trump?
Senator, I was in the Washington DC National Guard unit that was in Lafayette Square during those
Would you
events,
carry
holding
out
a
an
riot
order to
shield on
shoot
behalf of my
protesters
country.
in the legs?
I saw 50
as
Secret
directed
Service agents
to
get injured by
Secretary Esper.
rioters trying to jump over the fence, set
Again,
the church on fire, and
You
destroy
know
a
what, that
statue.
sounds to me that you will
Chaos.
comply with such an order. You will shoot protesters in the leg.
That's funny, you know? That's funny to me. She's got such a strong feeling about shooting protesters, yet Ashley Babbitt lost her life and they defended it and defended the officer that did it, but you're upset because of what you think he may do, he might be okay with? Make that make sense. That makes zero sense at all. People like her are disgusting. This man served in the military. Did she serve in the military? He served his country honorably. And now he's even stepping into a even more important, or I don't want to say more important, but a higher position to also serve his country. And you're trying to demonize this man based off of reports that you've read, which again, don't mean that he's convicted or did anything. This is a report. A person can make a report on me tomorrow about anything. It could be totally fabricated. They can make a report about anything. They make allegations about anything. Somebody could come out tomorrow and say you did something to them and make an allegation. It doesn't mean that you did it. And he's telling you, no, look, these people was trying to smear my name. It was an NBC. They was over here making allegations about me being drunk, which doesn't really matter. Drinking on the job. Are you serious? You've had a president, and not to, talk down on Biden. I'm not trying to beat him up or nothing like that, but you have had a president that has been beyond drunk for the last 4 years of his administration. What do you mean? You have had an incompetent man running the country, or trying to run it into the ground is what it feels like, and you don't have that same energy towards your own side. And this is why people have a problem and they see this political divide, because people on one side of the aisle aren't fair. Keep the same energy across the board. That's all we're saying. If you don't want protesters to get shot, cool. Keep that same energy when it's protesters that are even against your side or protesting things that are happening on your side. But they don't know what it is to be middle of the line. They don't. Okay? That's just the facts. Cold, hard facts. Got another one. And this one I really like because my man's, well, by the way, before I do that, this happened. You talk about incompetent. They trying to ask the man about the wildfires in California. Nothing. He ain't got nothing to say. Just making a face like he doo-dooed on himself. Kicking people out. You got to go. You can't ask questions that matter, that people want to know about. Look at this. Everybody leave. Go ahead. Get out. We can't have you here. We can't ask any hard questions that he wasn't prepared for. We can't do that. We can't have that in America. You can't be informed. That happened. Yeah, that's something that happened. I don't know if you all had seen that, but it did happen. So yeah, just wanted to show that. But this one is the clip that I love.
Hiring him.
This man went in, and all respect, because he called it out. The same thing that I'm calling out, man. He called out and did it beautifully. Share this thing out, you guys. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, share this out with everybody so they can see the hypocrisy of the left, man, because that's what it is. It's exactly what it is.
You know, there's a lot of talk going about talking about qualifications and then about us hiring him if we are the board. But there's a lot of senators here I wouldn't have on my board because there is no qualifications except your age, and you got to be living in the state and you're a citizen of the United States to be a senator. Other than the fact we got to convince a lot of people to vote for us. And then when we start talking about qualifications for if you're qualified for it, could the chairman tell me what the qualifications are for the Secretary of Defense? Mr. Chairman, could you tell me what the qualifications are for the Secretary of Defense?
Good question.
I'd be happy for
I'll read it.
for you to do that. Yeah.
Let me read it for you because I Googled
I
it.
was getting some advice from
I
my
understand
second
that.
in command.
Yeah, but I'm just making a point because there's a lot about qualifications, and I think it's so hypocritical of senators, especially on the other side of the aisle, be talking about his qualifications, not going to lead the secretary or be the Secretary of Defense, and yet your qualifications aren't any better. You guys aren't any more qualified to be the senator than I'm qualified to be the senator, except we're lucky enough to be here.
Preach.
But let me read you what the qualifications of the Secretary of Defense is, because I Googled it, and went through a lot of different sites, and really it's hard to see. But in general, the U.S. Secretary of Defense position is filled by a civilian.
Look at that. What do you know?
That's it. If you have served in the U.S. Army Forces and have been in the service for, you have to be retired for at least 7 years, and Congress can weigh that. And then there's questions that the senator from Massachusetts brought up about serving on a board inside the military industry, and yet your own secretary that you all voted for, Secretary of Austin, we had to vote on a waiver because he stepped off the board of Raytheon. But I guess that's okay because that's a Democrat Secretary of Defense. But we so quickly forget about that. And then Senator Kaine, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night?
What? Huh?
Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job?
Oh my God, that's
And
a good
don't tell
question.
me you haven't seen it because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives?
Uh-oh.
Did you ask them to step down?
Uh-oh.
No. But it's for show. You guys
There
make
it
sure
is.
you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because the man's made a mistake.
Yep.
And you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified? Give me a joke. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you guys hold yourself as this higher standard and you forget you got a big plank in your eye.
Facts.
We've all made mistakes.
Facts.
I've made mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake. Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too.
Amen. Preach, bro.
I have changed, but I'm not perfect.
None of us are.
But I found somebody that thought I was perfect.
Amen.
And for whatever reason, you love Pete, and I don't know why. But just like our Lord and Savior forgave me, my wife's had to forgive me more than once too, and I'm sure you've had to forgive him too. And so thank you.
Spoken like a real man. That's real right there. Very real. And what he said was just so deep. How many of you senators have came to work drunk and voted? And that's, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it live. We have seen it live. You could tell when somebody is just a little popped, you know. We've seen it. We've seen you drunk. Stop it. Stop the cap. Straight capping. That's what's going on. You see somebody that you don't like, so you're going to try to point out everything about them. It's really embarrassing to our country that these are the leaders that we have sitting inside of that making decisions on behalf of us. You over there nitpicking things about a person that served his country and is trying to step up to continue his service to the country. And you want to point out stupid little things that are irrelevant to his job. Are you going to resign if you get caught drinking? Are you going to resign? Are you going to resign if you come in to work drunk because you done had a couple drinks? Because of the last time I checked, you know, being a senator and a congressperson or whatever, that's a full-time job too, 24/7. You are a senator 24/7. 24/7. So are you going to resign? Are you going to call out people that come in drunk on your side of the aisle? No? I ain't think so. So that means just shut up. Just shut up about it. What you're talking about is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It has nothing to do with nothing. So moving on. I'm gonna go ahead and point this out. I saw this and it really made me remember something that I hope you guys laugh at when we point out the abundant. Shout out to Liberal Hive Mind. I'm gonna use your phrase right now. We're gonna point out the abundant hypocrisy of the left. That's what we're about to do right now with this video. Listen to this chick right here. Hold on.
And black women ain't taking y'all shit in Trump Must America news. First Lady Michelle Obama reportedly will be skipping Donald Trump's inauguration.
So First Lady Michelle Obama is skipping Donald Trump's inauguration. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I'm sure that nobody has I'm sure Trump doesn't care if she shows up or doesn't care. Whatever, right? We not tripping. I'm sure nobody is like, oh my God, Michelle's not going to be there. But whatever, we're going to keep this thing going. Listen.
She said, listen, I had to be there when it was my husband who was leaving. I was going to pay him the honorifics. We're going to get our little goodbyes. But Trump, go to hell, bitch. I love that, Michelle. Yes, 92%. I'm sure she's going to be somewhere with a 92% mug.
Now, I'm sure this, let me pull off this, hold on. Let me take down this overlay so you can see the lady that's talking right now. Okay, hold on. There we go. I want y'all to see her. All right. This is the lady that's talking. Now, you hear how she talking, number one. Now, I'm going to tell you this straight up as a black man and as a man, period, right? You are the exact type of woman that ain't no brother looking at. We could tell what kind of woman you are. You are a loud mouth, want to be bougie. You know, you probably aren't married. You probably are not married. And I can say that now because I'm married. You know what I'm saying? You probably not married. And no one likes you except for toxic women like you that like this negative stuff that you do. You're the type of woman that you don't get a second look. Or if you do get a look, it's just because somebody wants you to sweat that weave out your head real quick when they do what they do with you and then throw you away. And I could tell all of that just by the way that you're, you know, saying the things that you're saying right now. So let's keep moving.
For her to mind her business, probably watching one of her specials on Netflix and not the inauguration. In other news, did y'all see how Vice President Kamala Harris reportedly skipped the traditional invitation to the incoming Vice President punk ass J.D. Vance in terms of allowing him to tour the Vice President's residence?
Okay.
She said, no, bitch, you talked all that stuff. You can come and get the keys after you're inaugurated.
Oh, that's
I love
that's
it.
cool.
She did her job.
Now, I'm going to get to my point with the end of this, okay? But you heard what she just said. Kamala Harris divines the traditional, it's not a requirement, you don't have to, it's tradition, right? Of handing the keys over to Vance and having a little tea party or whatever, right? I want y'all to remember that, okay? Let's keep going.
Job. She did her job. Personally, I wouldn't be mad if she didn't go to inauguration. She's probably going to go. That's typical of the outcoming administration to go, unless you're trying to stage a coup like Donald Trump did. But I love, it's my petty little heart just loves that she did not extend the courtesy to J.D. Vance after all that shit he talked as nasty as he was, that she did not have to look at his stupid face and invite him and have tea and crumpets with him at the Naval Observatory.
All right. So now, why did I play that, right? And by the way, she probably is married. I seen that big old ring on her finger. Somebody does love her. I mean, maybe this is just a personality that she's playing for some likes. I don't know. I still stand by what I said, though. But I just want to say this. Do you all remember when it was headlines, right, that Melania Trump declined the traditional tea party with First Lady Jill Biden? And then you had the left. Everybody on the left, oh, that's not classy. I can't believe her. That's disgusting. Look who she's married to. It's not a shock. All of those kind of things was being said. But here we are, praising Kamala Harris for not going and sitting down with J.D. Vance. Here we are. Here we are. Again, the abundant hypocrisy of the left. The abundant hypocrisy of the left. Michelle Obama, she's not going to show up. You know, it's tradition. You don't have to, but that's not classy, right? No, No, that's okay. And it is. It is okay. We don't care. We don't care. And I'm sure JD Vance don't care. He's not tripping about not going and having tea and crumpets with Harris. I mean, no one really cares to hear her voice. Her voice is just nasally like the chick that we was just watching. It's just that kind of voice that just like, I'd rather listen to nails on a chalkboard than listen to your voice, right? But y'all cared. All the Democrats cared when Melania wasn't going to sit down and have tea with Jill. But do you see how we just don't care? Not a big deal. I only played the video just so I could point out the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy that I can't stand. It makes me do videos like this because I swear I've been trying not to do nothing political. I've been really trying hard. But then I see this stuff and it just like lights a fire in me and I just got to come on. And I ain't say no cuss words about nobody though. I didn't cuss nobody out. So give me some props for that. You know what I'm saying? But I had to point it out. This is why I don't care. Let me tell you something. I'll never be a Democrat, ever. It's like once you adopt the Democrat ideology, you turn into them people that we just listened to. You know, it's insane. Whatever. With all of that, I just want to say, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. I'm going to be going live here in an hour. All right. I got to go get the kids from school right now, but I'll be coming back, going live in about an hour with Sarah, and we're going to talk to you guys about American Made. All right. And you might want to tune in for this one because it's beneficial for you and it's beneficial for our country, especially with the stuff, the way that it's going and how things could be going with the transition. So tune in for that. 1 hour. All right. It's going to be in 1 hour, you guys. I would love to see you there. That being said, stop being hypocrites on the left. I mean, or not. You can keep doing it, and it just helps me be able to have content to come on and talk to the people. But it also makes you look very, very silly. I don't mind if you don't mind, but I mean, it's just, it gets overwhelming sometimes because there's even more than that. I got another video that I wanted to play for you guys about the guy now saying that if you're white and you call somebody a DEI hire, you're basically calling them the N-word. It's the new N-word. Instead of saying, hey, get off my lawn, you N-word, they're saying, hey, get off my lawn, you DEI hire, and the person ain't even got a job. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I might do a separate video on that one. But you guys, I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. I didn't stop doing politics, Teresa. I was thinking about it. I've been moving away from it because it just gets so toxic because I find stuff like this and it makes me want to cuss people out. So I've been trying not to do that as I've been trying to walk right with God. You know, but God made a stirring inside of me to say, yo, you got to talk. You got to be the one to talk about this one right here, bro. You got to. So I did. That's why I'm live right now. Thank you for tuning in and sharing it out. I probably can't ever escape politics, you guys, as much as I try. I just can't. It's too deep in me. I can't help it. But I just keep it, you know, I'll be a little nicer, I guess, in my delivery. That's the way I could do it to still be good to God. Who knows? Catch you guys later. Smash that like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe if you ain't already subscribed, if you enjoy content like this or my little funny videos that I do. I appreciate you. God bless you. Favorite J6er here, signing out. Peace.